Councillor Jeff Coffman joins us for this week's City Council recap. A couple things happening on Monday. First off, let's talk about the annual report that was approved by Council. What were kind of the steps of the process of going through that approval?
Well, the annual report's one of the legislative requirements of the municipality. So City Council approved our 2013 annual report, and that's basically the financial document that gives us an overview of the activities that went on in 2013. So the city is still in a very strong financial position. We've got some things we can work on, but it's a document that citizens should go to and look at, and it's from that document that we move forward into 2014 and beyond, and it's that document that people can really evaluate how the city is operating.
And can you look at the document on the city's website?
That document will actually be live on the city's website probably next week. It will eventually be available at the public library, and if somebody wants a hard copy, they can come here to City Hall and request one at the city clerk's office.
Great. And something that may be in next year's annual report is bridge upgrades happening in our city. What areas will we expect to see upgrades in, and what's kind of the timeline for that?
Well, the timeline for this is actually ongoing. This is part of our continued budgeting process, that we're always doing upgrades, rehabilitation to our infrastructure, and in this case to bridges. Council approved a $688,000 expenditure to do some more design and restoration on a couple of the bridges, and we're looking at the usual suspects, as they would say, the ones across the Crow's Nest Trail, the pedestrian, in terms of pedestrian bridge, looking at some work on Whoop Up and a couple of others in the community. This is pedestrian as well as automobile focused, so it's all bridge upgrades. Our inventory in bridges is about 25 years old, and the life cycle of most bridges is about 50, so we're halfway through, and it's important that we make sure that we're maintaining first and foremost for the safety of our citizens.
Yes, that's so great to hear. Always want to keep people safe. Pedestrians and any motorists. Canada Winter Games, that might be a reality for Lethbridge. We're kind of coming down to the final decision here. What's happening with our city and maybe hosting the Canada Winter Games?
Well, the Games Committee came to Council yesterday as well and updated us on phase one of what they have done, and requested an additional $50,000, which comes out of the Sports Legacy Fund. We have a fund actually dedicated to games or sporting events in our community, and the intent is to move into phase two. And what this phase does is it looks at marketing, communication strategy. It also looks at how we can engage citizenry, both as volunteers and as active attendees of the events as well. The big component of this one, though, looks at the expenses and the revenues that would be involved with this. They'll report back to us before June 30th, and that's kind of the make or break date. It's at that point Council will either say, yes, we continue on down this road with the bid, we're competing with Red Deer, or we say, no, the cost is too much, or there are other issues. We have that decision to make in June.
And now City Council is asking the city residents of Lethbridge to do something very simple but very important, and that is the census. What is the importance of doing the census, and we're kind of coming close to the end of the census?
We encourage everyone to participate in the census. When somebody knocks on your door, please answer it and give them the detail. I believe there's 4 very simple questions. Or go online, go to lethbridge.ca and follow the links to the census. This is very important because we actually get grant money from the province based on our population, which is why we do the census every year. Obviously the numbers do go up because our community is growing, but it's very important that we present this information to the province, and dollar per person is type of the formula that they work on. So that's why we want to make sure everyone is counted.
I did it today, and I can attest it is very simple, very quick to do. And another civic responsibility is the municipal by-election coming up right away here. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yes, with the untimely passing of Councillor Wade Galloway, we were going to a by-election again. Yesterday was nomination day, and I believe we had 10 candidates come out for that. The by-election will be held on Monday, May the 12th. Polls will open at 10 o'clock a.m. and close at 8 o'clock p.m. Eligible voters, of course, you have to be over 18, have to be a Canadian citizen, and have to have resided in Lethbridge at least by May 11th. It's fairly loose in that third rule as to how long you have to live here. And come out and vote, and make certain you have a say into what your council is going to look like as you move forward.
Absolutely. Mark that date in your calendar. Thank you so much, Councillor Coffman,
much
for joining us. If you would like to watch live City Council meetings, you can catch them every other Monday right here on Shaw TV.